Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. We got a fantastic Thursday show for the people, and it is officially the start of the National Football League season. September 4th date, I should say, between the Eagles and the Cowboys that a lot of people have been waiting for. There's no lie. There's no doubt. America's favorite sport is football, and it starts today, and we'll talk about it on the Rome Show. We'll talk a little Eagles. We'll talk a little Cowboys. We still have the entire NFC East to break down over the next 2 days, but since the Eagles-Cowboys play tonight, we'll get them locked and loaded, and then we'll have a full game preview for the people of Eagles versus Cowboys, 8:20 tonight, Thursday Night Football, banner-raising ceremony for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll also be joined by Rocky Romanella today. Very exciting. We have a Rockies Roundup on docket for the people. Rocky will give us his opinions on the Eagles versus the Cowboys tonight, plus all of his sports breakdown, which, as you know, if you've listened to the Rome Show, can go all over the place. By the way, if you've missed any of Rocky's roundups or any of the other Rome Shows, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Okay, finally, the YouTube, the Romanellas. Make sure you subscribe. It's our new home. We've been there all week. It's been a blast. Go to youtube.com/the Romanellas and hit subscribe, or x.com/the Rome Show 1. That would be Twitter for those people that are in my age category. They changed it to X. It's a letter. I know it's very stupid. Subscribe to the Rome Show 1 on that account. Before we let Rocky get in here, we got it straight off the Rome from Major League Baseball, and I think you're going to want to hear it. Let's go. I'm not going to spend an insane amount of time on this because I think this is the most Bush League BS, worst thing you could do as a Major League Baseball player to a catcher. And I'll preface this video I'm about to play you by stating that I believe that the catching position in baseball is arguably, if not the hardest position in sports, point blank, period. Okay? That's my opinion. So now you have a pitcher who throws 94 to 96 miles per hour, unhappy with you as a catcher, and this is what transpires. And Framber Valdez, one, deserves to get hit in the face, and two, should never, ever do this type of BS to a teammate. Check this out. So you got Framber Valdez on the mound. Catcher wants him to step off.
Sends that one to left. Altuve going back, watching this one. That's a slam the other way.
Yeah, it is. That's a slam the other way, Framber. Here's the next pitch. Oh, and so
just even more rare that both home runs today have come off.
That right there looks like just a fastball that a catcher missed. But let me break this down for you really quickly. Right now, the catcher, as you can see on your screen, is pushing his hands backwards, meaning step off the mound. He doesn't, okay? Which is his own choice, by the way. Doesn't. Then throws a ball. Oh, nope, you don't want to step off. That's fine. Throws a ball. Where is that? Oh, that's dead down the middle of the plate. Last time I checked, any professional baseball player from the lowest level of indie ball to the highest person in Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge of its ilk, can hit that pitch. 95 Down the middle, little bit of run. That is, thank you, sir. I'll see you later type stuff for any hitter in Major League Baseball. Trent Grisham goes deep. So you might be just thinking to yourself, oh, okay, well, on the next pitch, him and the catcher get crossed up. Absolutely not. They don't show you the pitch call. We can't see it really anymore because they type it in. But this is what's called a cross-up for those that might not know. This man did this on purpose. He purposely threw a 95-mile-per-hour fastball at the dead center chest of his catcher because he didn't like what happened the pitch before. Now, there's no official wording on this. Obviously, no one's going to come out of the Astros locker room and be like, yeah, that's right. He threw
against the Giants.
That's 93 down the middle, right at your heart, and you don't know it's coming. No one can, I don't think anyone understands how hard that is when you know it's coming. That's Bush League behavior. He should be suspended. He should be fined. He should also be knocked out. Look at the way he turned around and walked away. Are you serious? Seriously. You're 135 games in.
Left-handed hitters' bats.
Yeah. Are we serious? Now, if I'm this guy, I am throwing a 900-mile-per-hour rocket back at this MFer's ankles, and then I'm calling time, and I'm going right out there. That's BS. There's no place in the game for that, man.
Coming into this game, giving up one home run to a left-handed hitter.
If I was a Houston Astro, I would never want that man on my team. I mean that honestly. This is not a hot take. This is not hyperbole. This isn't, wow, Romo's got to chill. No, that's loser behavior. That's loser behavior. I'm sorry. You think that guy was calling time so you could give up a 450-foot grand slam in a 2-0 game? No, he wasn't. That's unbelievable behavior from a Major League Baseball player. That is gross. And Framber Valdez should be suspended from the organization. Have your catchers back there. Find out what went on. But by the way, you cannot tell me, okay, in my experience in baseball, 12 years as a coach, 5 of those in pro baseball, and I guess 18 years of playing the sport, I've never seen a cross-up where the pitcher and the catcher didn't instantaneously get on the same page. Whoa, what just happened there? Come out here. We got to talk about that. Oh, my God, are you all right? There's no way we wanted that. No, this man turns around and walks away. Loser. Framber Valdez, loser. Loser behavior, loser teammate. That should never happen. Especially with the hard. I don't think anyone understands how hard it is to catch, let alone catch in Major League Baseball. When these guys are throwing, nothing goes straight. Nothing. Even the pitch that was 96 and hit out of the ballpark went from right to left. Okay? But never, ever, ever should a pitcher ever show their catcher up like that. Should a pitcher ever disrespectfully do something like that? And by the way, someone could get hurt, man. This isn't a joke. 93 without the guy knowing? Are you serious? Framber Valdez, loser type behavior. And I felt like on this show, he deserved to be called out. Good for John Boy Media. I watched him call him out. I want everyone. I saw some other people, Will Middlebrooks on Twitter, call this loser out. This should be blown up everywhere. The Astros should handle this. This should be something. I hope it is something that he misses his next start. Because you don't deserve to wear a Major League Baseball uniform if you're going to treat a teammate that way. I'm sorry. Asinine behavior. The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube. The Romanellas, to be specific. Make sure you head to youtube.com/the Romanellas and hit subscribe. Okay? Content's awesome. Not just the Rome Show as well. Me and my beautiful fiance have a plethora of things going on our YouTube channel. Golf content, the Locker Room to Life podcast, which is a fun little venture about going from being a college athlete to being a regular patron of the world and how that transition works. We got some other sports content on there, a little bit of workout. I love to stretch, all the good stuff. The Romanellas on YouTube. Go hit subscribe, and the Rome Show 1 on the Twitter X. That's what we'll call it now on our show. Twitter X, the Rome Show 1. That's the Rome Show. Then the number 1, bottom left-hand side of your screen, 30-second commercial break. You might say, why? I might say, I need someone to sponsor it. So you're going to sit here for 30 seconds and be like, dang, I wish I had a really cool commercial to watch while I waited 30 seconds for Rocky's Roundup to come back on the Rome Show on the Romanella's YouTube and the Rome Show 1 on Twitter X. I should sponsor it. 30 seconds to think about it. Back after this. Yeehaw! Welcome back to the Roundup, ladies and gentlemen. Joined by Rocky Romanella. We're here to roast some cattle and make sure we get the people right for some National Football League. How we doing, Rocky?
We're doing great. Glad I didn't take a 93-mile-an-hour sinker to the chest. That's for sure.
Oh, man. You know what? Before we do anything National Football League, can you give me your thoughts on that? Because I know you're the resident hockey player on this show, but you have played enough baseball in your life to know what I'm talking about there.
I just listen. Like, it's the catcher's job to help the pitcher out. Like everything starts and ends on the hill. All right, that's what we all know. Game can only be like, look at the Mets, best hitting month of the season, but we didn't win enough games because it starts on the hill, right?
Yeah.
So we know you're the most important guy on the field. I'm by the way, I'm vertical because I was turned and it wasn't letting me.
See how I was messing with the look there?
Yeah. So I don't know how you. I just need every time I had it all the other ways. This is the fourth motion I had that kept me straight. So
you should have seen it while I was getting ready for the show. I just kept seeing Rocky's head go upside down, sideways, upside down, sideways. It was great.
Yeah.
So go on. We're taking you behind the curtain a lot here recently.
Listen, I don't care what the articles say. They talked about it. They went into the office. The indicator that makes it a problem for me is that this is like the second team incident for this guy Valdez, who's supposed to be getting paid this year. So he got pissed at the team for their defensive positioning. Now he's gonna cross up the catcher. Like, at some point, your tendency, like, it's not always a mistake.
Yeah. At some point, it's just bad. You're a bad guy.
You're not a good teammate. Like, you're just not a good teammate. And you can't hide from it when it's on national television and it looks the way it did. It's not like you came off the mound and you're like, oh, dude, are you okay?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you and I were playing wiffle ball in the backyard and you thought I was going to throw one thing and I hit you in the face with the wiffle ball, I'd be like, oh my God, are you okay? Let alone, I've thrown probably 27 games to you this year. We've been on the road for 6 months together. Like, that's wild to me, you know? So
listen, I don't get it.
My biggest thing is, and we'll go to football right here now, but my biggest thing is it's just, there's no room for that in any professional sport. And I think this is a great segue to the Dallas Cowboys, to the Philadelphia Eagles, to the Micah Parsons trade, because I need to get your opinion on that when we break the Cowboys down. But it's like, I've been hearing a lot of reports. I crushed Jerry Jones when they made that trade, and I'm going to stay by my word till I see what happens. But I've been hearing a lot more reports about how the locker room in Dallas could be better. Now, that could be Jerry just putting stuff out there, Rock. But it's one of those things where doesn't matter how high level of sport you play or low level or amateur level, the team aspect matters. It really does.
Dude, it absolutely matters. And, listen, I get the Astros players saying, like, no, nothing bad, because, like, they don't want the press. But, like, I'm sorry, but, like, don't pay that guy $218 million if he's going to stay in your locker room for 7 years, because he's going to tear it apart. And
it's obvious.
And I'm not listening to a thing that Jerry Jones says. There's not a sound bite. There's not a sound bite post trade that will give you any sort of sanity. any soundbite that Jerry Jones gives you from that trade till today has nothing to do with the Cowboys and everything to do with letting all of the other talking heads have something to talk about and argue about until the games actually start. Because quite frankly, this happened 3 months ago. I don't understand. The guy didn't want to be a Cowboy.
Yeah, and
It's
Jerry
that
Jones didn't
simple.
want to pay him what he wanted. Both
The guy,
sides didn't really want each other.
the guy didn't want to be a Cowboy, right? He turned down the money to Dallas. He didn't want to be a Cowboy. Jerry Jones tried to hang on, hoping that camp would help him want to stay a Cowboy. Very simple. So, yeah, actually, when I think about the locker room, it is probably better because I don't want to walk around a guy who doesn't want to be on the team.
We'll go right into 32 teams in 32 days because now that Rocky just said that, it's got my mind running here with the Cowboys. So before I get into it, I obviously let you know what we're doing here. This is, in theory, day 31. The math isn't perfect here, but we're covering every NFL team before the start of all of the games on Sunday. So we left the Eagles and the Cowboys for today because they are also the two teams playing each other to kick off the NFL season. I don't tell you all that to say that. I tell you it to say this. The Micah Parsons, the locker room thing, you're right. And that's a huge factor into whether or not you're going to like or not like this Cowboys team moving forward. You got a brand new head coach. So I think that Rocky plays a factor into why it was almost harder to have that energy around the locker room. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy was the right coach either. Clearly he got fired, but a guy that has 25 years of head coaching experience underneath his belt might be able to handle that superstar a little bit better than a brand new Brian Schottenheimer, who not only is a first-time head coach for the Dallas Cowboys this year, Rock, but also doesn't have any head coaching experience previous to that. There's a lot to start this season off here for the Cowboys.
There is a lot. And quite frankly, like, where are you? Where are you in the summer with Micah Parsons? Who's talking to him? Which guys on the team are talking to him? Did he go to OTAs? Did he not? Did he go to like unofficial training camp? Did he not? Like the indicators are there. Who's their middle linebacker? Who's the captain of the defense? Is he not in Micah Parsons' ear every day?
I think he was the captain of the defense.
Is he? I don't know, but like where is I just don't understand. Like this could have been done before training camp. Jerry Jones could have avoided this fallout. And now, by the way, to me tonight, when you look at the game, this is a trap game for the Eagles because no one thinks Dallas is going to win because of Micah Parsons, but no one's even. They might have their offense is typically pretty good. Dak is typically pretty good, like when he's healthy. They have a pretty good run game. They're pretty good in the air. The Eagles are coming off a Super Bowl. It's a trap game for the Eagles. I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this game because Micah Parsons is not playing.
That's a great point out of you. Let's go a little bit deeper into that. Last year, Dak Prescott didn't play a lot of games for the Dallas Cowboys. Since 2020, Dak Prescott has missed 26 games for the Cowboys. However, though, you trade Rocky for George Pickens in the offseason. You couple him with CD Lamb, all right? The running back situation, Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, they're good running backs. You're really more for your offensive line in Dallas, as we've known for a bunch of years. The offensive line in Dallas is a strong suit for them. So when you look at that and you think about what Rocky just said, how historically when Dak is healthy, Dak is playing his best game, and everyone's on the field, which hasn't happened a lot in the last 2 or 3 years for Dallas. There's been injuries here and there. This is a really good offense. So to look at Dallas to start the whole year, Rocky, less about the Eagles and more about this could be a really good offense throughout the course of the year. My biggest question mark is, and it's not just the Micah Parsons things either, were they good enough in general on defense? Last year, they were 21st in rush yards per game. They just lost the number one middle linebacker in the league, and they were second worst in passing yards per game. So then you got Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts coming in to the dome ski, or you got to go to Philly, excuse me. And if I'm the Eagles, I am running the ball down their throats and every other team for that matter until they prove to me they can be a great run-stopping defense.
Yeah, I would love to see the Cowboys get shredded. because it just makes me happy to see that it's so dysfunctional. I'm just saying I wouldn't sleep on their offense tonight. I
I
wouldn't
agree.
sleep on their offense. Like, and you know what, by the way, that plays into the Jalen Hurts led Eagles win shootouts. They win shootouts. They don't play great, but next thing you know, they got 37 points.
Yeah,
Like the game
it's a
is
great point.
ugly. They've had a couple of turnovers. Like Jalen in the first half is like questionable. And next thing you know, it's like 35-38, and they're going to win the game. And like
Yeah.
that's kind of the way they've played. So, I mean, I do think the Eagles slide in and they'll probably win the game tonight. But I'm just saying, Micah Parsons' thing should have been settled before training camp. He didn't want to be a Cowboy. And that should be the story here. I'm not Jerry, a reason for trading him. It's obvious, dude. He didn't want to be a Cowboy. There's nothing you can say that's going to make me change my mind. And the only thing that I will defend Jerry on, and if this is true, I'm going to love this story even more, is that if he actually has back problems and he can't play.
Right. If the back problems turn out to be long term, he barely is playing the rest of his career. You're not wrong. I can't believe Jerry Jones is smart enough. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't believe that. Until I see it, I can't believe it. I got Rocky. I got the Dallas Cowboys going 7-10 this year. What are you thinking? They had the sixth hardest schedule, and they were 7-10 last year with a new head coach. I just don't see it changing much either way.
Listen, if the Giants can't beat the Cowboys at home this year, I don't know if I care how bad they are because I'm still going to go crazy.
Well, yeah, absolutely right. I think
no, you're right. You're right, though, because you're right. Because if Dak's, again, it comes down to if Dak's healthy. If Dak's healthy, they have a chance to be floating around the plus or minus 2 to 3 games, 500 bubble, right? But it's no different than a lot of teams that have good offenses on paper. Like if your defense is marginal, your defense was okay last year, and you just lost your best player. So yeah, you've got a lot to prove on the back end of the ball, and if it's not there, you got no chance. I mean, it's been proven time and time again in the modern NFL game. If you've got no defense, it doesn't matter how many points you score.
We are breaking down 32 teams in 32 days. If you've missed us break down any of the teams in the National Football League, go to the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast, just search the Rome Show podcast, trying to give you a season preview for each team. So if you're a futures banana wagerer, or you're just somebody that's wondering, man, what's going to happen in this division or this conference, we're here to break it down for you. Don't worry. I'll give you the betting lines for the Eagles versus Cowboys tonight, but let us get through talking about each team before we do so. So let's get to the Eagles now, Rocky, because I think this is an easy one, okay? Because they were 14-3 last year. They were the number 1 seed. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. All of the things that went on. Saquon, 2,000 yards. I mean, it was just everything that went right for the Eagles went right last year, and they return essentially the entire team. So for me, it's not a matter of will they be in that mix in the last 4 to 6 teams left in the playoffs. It's okay, what happens when they are in that mix? Do you have that same feeling going into this season for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you're not worried. I mean, listen, in the NFC East, I don't see how they're not the number one, seed. They're the best team in the division right now. They're the best team in the NFC. Until they decide to completely change the offense that I've been watching now for 3 years with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, like I don't see how you're going to slow them down. I guess their only blemish is their passing game, which is ironic considering the talent they have at wide receiver, right? They were 28th in passing last year. So if you can figure out a way to stymie the run, I guess you have a chance.
Well, I think, what's funny that you say that? I was talking to one of my players about this the other day. We were talking about fantasy football, whatever the case was. He's like, Saquon's got to be your number 1 running back. And I was like, hold on a second here. And this might sound like guy trying to make a hot take. It's not, though. Like, the guy had 2,000 yards last year. It's only natural he's not going to have as good of a year this year. Like, it's still going to be a good year, but you're not going to run for 2,000, at least I don't think, again. So by nature, you're going to be dealing with a slightly down Eagles running game because if he runs for 1,500 yards, that's 500 less yards he garnered on the ground.
If I'm playing the Philadelphia Eagles, no different than, if if I play like the best running quarterback in the league, like who we think can't throw the ball, right? Like I'm going to play against the quarterback. And if he throws good balls, that's the way he's beating me. If
Right.
I play the Eagles, all I'm doing is planning against the run.
Yeah.
And if I
Beat
can
me with
stop
A.J.
their
Brown.
run,
Beat me with Devonta Smith.
you need to beat me throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so if that, and by the way, like, why wouldn't that be the scheme? I mean, listen, I know I don't understand football coaching decisions. I will be the first to tell you the schemes don't make sense to me because in my head, it's show up, stop Saquon, and you give yourself a chance.
Yeah. No, I think that's where you stop Saquon, then stop Jalen, and then start the breakdown from there. Last year, this defense, 278.4 yards per game, given up first in the league per game, 17.8 points per game, second in the league. So outside of all the offense that we're talking about here for the Philadelphia Eagles, they have arguably the best defense, if not guaranteed a top 5-10 returning defense in the league. So let's slide this into our preview for tonight, Rocky, because we got to get to your roundups at some point today off of the football conversation. Here's the over-under. It's 47.5 points. I think that's a good one. And the Eagles are favored by 8.5 points. Now, you know this, Rock, as well as I do. Week 1 is a crapshoot. Like it's a complete crapshoot. You could look on paper. You could feel really good about teams. You could do all the different things. At the end of the day, teams beat teams that should never beat anybody, but it's week 1. So on paper, Rocky, the Eagles should handily win this football game. That's why they're favored by 8.5. Please give me your thoughts, though you have a little bit, but your final and your prediction for this evening's Thursday night football game.
It's still a preseason game. It is still a preseason game. And that is the only saving grace I think like the Cowboys have. I think both sides have, right? Like it's still a preseason game. All the kinks are not worked out. All the reps aren't there, right? It's the first full game your quarterback is playing. It's the first full game everyone's playing together. It's in the spotlight. You're raising the banner. It's against one of your fiercest hated rivalries, the level of emotion, the lack of gameplay, it's all going to factor in. And so like if you see a miscue where there's a fumble, or if you just see like a pass that's errant, like you're going to keep the Cowboys in the game. Like when it comes to like, oh, the Eagles are going to dominate the Cowboys. That's what I'm paying attention to is like, can you overcome the fact that it's still a preseason game? Get yourself to the second half where you settle in. And if you can, and like you're within 1 score or 2 scores, like let's say you named a bad start if I'm the Eagles, you're probably still going to win the game.
Yeah, I feel that. So I would agree. I'm taking the Eagles tonight, and I'm actually going to take them with the 8.5. And that's not to say that Dallas can't beat them, or not to say that Dallas can that this game's going to be a blowout. It's more or less to say that, to your point about the preseason thing and how the first 4 weeks of the season are a complete crapshoot. The way I feel about it is you just made a major change on the defensive side of the football. And though it has the chance and minute possibility of long-term being better for the organization and the defense, I can't imagine 6 days later, your defense is already ready to rock with a brand new middle linebacker, the guy calling out the plays, yada, yada, yada. So that is why in this moment, I give the nod to the Eagles, because if it is a 4th preseason game, and we're talking about this team having what feels like 90% of their roster returning, well, then in theory, the team that should be more polished on week 1 is the Eagles. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to give them 35 points tonight. I'm going to give Dallas 21 because of what you said about how the kinks are still getting ironed out. So I don't think this defense for the Eagles is ready to be the best defense in the league. And that might falter into your example where it's like, oh, is it 24-21 in the third quarter? Or what the hell? Oh, they won 38 to 21 by 17. So that is my prediction for your first of 272 or something NFL regular season games.
It is very exciting. And don't get sold for any team of your favorite teams. Don't get sold on the first drive. They've been practicing the first drive for the last 6 months.
months. It's
They
actually
know the first drive by heart already. They've
yeah.
already practiced it, so don't get sold on it.
Ask Bill Belichick and UNC about that one.
Just, dude, was his girlfriend really on the sideline?
With Aaron Boone.
Like, what? What are we
doing?
doing?
I don't know. I have no idea. What I know we're going to do right now is we're going to take 10 seconds. When we come back, the music you'll hear is Hockey with Rocky. The visual you'll have is Rocky's Roundups, and that's how we're going to finish the show today. 10-second commercial could be sponsored by you, the Romanellas at gmail.com. Hit us up. Sponsor this commercial. Back after this. Now, inside the glass, Hockey with Rocky.
First up on the roundup today, I don't understand who does scheduling for college football. There is only one top 25 matchup here in week 2, and it doesn't make sense to me. The money-hungry NCAA can't come up with a preseason bowl format that yields them millions of dollars and allows these teams to play high-end games at a scrimmage level that doesn't get in the way of their ranking. I don't understand it. But why are you going from a top 10 matchup to playing Austin Pay this weekend? I don't get it.
Like, what are we doing? Go the opposite way. Make all the bad games first and then get into the schedule. I don't understand it.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Or make it just make a bowl game, make a preseason bowl, do something to make your money.
You know how they have like the
they go to Hawaii. They do the
preseason.
Hawaii thing. It doesn't mess with anyone's ranking, and teams get smoked there that end up being really good.
Yes, it's so true. It's like,
And no one cares.
They lost in Bermuda on November 2nd to Syracuse.
Dude, the whole great Hawaii shootout, and it's like Duke, North Carolina. It's like, how'd this happen? No, but then no one's talking about it in January when they're actually playing for real.
Yes, and then their rankings matter and all that stuff. I wondered that. So was it you? It might have been you actually that said to me, "Why is Ohio State playing Texas on week 1?"
No, here's what people kept telling me. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe how many good games there are." I'm like, no. We say this every year.
Yeah,
we say it every year. Don't pretend like this is the first year this is happening.
Correct. Because remember last year when Florida State was ranked 7 and then they went 2-10. So it's like, what yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Talk about a roller coaster for the Seminoles.
Yeah, Kellen DeBoer was on my weekend worst to start the week this week because of how bad he's been as their head coach.
It's tough. Well, good start. And was Arch Manning that bad? Why are we just like what? Like, you can't be. Giants should hold out to this guy's a bust in one game.
One game. Against the defending national champions. Again, it's like what we just talked about with the NFL. If the Cowboys go get waxed right now by the Eagles, you wouldn't be surprised, but it also doesn't mean now that Dak Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer should be out of the NFL. Like, it's not like that.
No, because you've been on. I mean, and by the way, and if you go against Dak's past it, well, you know what? You should have said that 3 years ago before he took his 260 and then didn't play for the next 3 years.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's a good point out of you. And for the Arch Manning thing, give the kid a chance. You know, like, he did play versus Austin P 3 times last year, essentially. So this is his first actual college football game.
And by the way, like, well, he sat behind Quinn Ewers for so long. But you know what? You were also the same guy that said Quinn Ewers could have been a top 5 draft pick, and now look at him. Yeah. So maybe you don't understand the talent.
Yeah, he's third on the Miami Dolphins depth chart.
I mean, let's be serious. You don't know how to judge a quarterback when he's good. Don't tell me when he's bad. Although I will say the memes about him looking like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite are lights out.
It's so good.
Oh, they're so good.
I still stand by this. The only really great thing that came out of the time period of 2020's pandemic thingy was the meme level of awesomeness. Like, memes took a whole nother level step up during that time period of life.
Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. So that was the college football and Arch was my first. I'll just say, let's go Mets. NASCAR's playoff. Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to say, let's go Mets. We're going to figure it out on the hill because I love the way we're hitting.
Yeah, I think
I love that everyone's coming on board with the fact that like we were wrong when we said Juan Soto was having a tough year. Like
Yes.
it's about time that you recognize the fact that the
Yes.
dude is an absolute stud.
You know what I realized over the weekend, and shout out Big Rock, though I don't want you to think this is a shot. I was listening to him complain about how he takes too many walks, and I was thinking that's actually the problem, because it's not that.
Yes.
And in theory, his numbers at the start were whatever. I'm not even getting into that. That's the problem, though, because people expect him or believe he should just hit homers or doubles every time he's at bat. It's like, no,
he's on base all the time.
So great. Yes, he's on base all the time. And the walk is why he's so great. That for him is knowing now that he's being an elite level hitter. So
dude,
I think that
trade a walk with an out and you're on base 30% less.
Yeah, but I think that's the skew for people and why they think it's not as good this year.
He's like the perfect hybrid player. He's like, he takes money ball and he still hits with power.
Yeah, it's great. He does it all. And he steals bases. The only thing you can really, really knock on him is his defense. And at the end of the day, you could probably say that about most good offensive players in Major League Baseball. That's a fact.
Sorry.
That's
He's
right.
awesome. So that's the quick one on the Mets. Quick on NASCAR, first race of the playoffs last week.
Yeah.
My eyes this week in St. Louis would be on Joey Logano sitting in the first spot out, and Shane SVG Van Ginsberg as the first spot in on the cut line. I think those two guys have a lot. Like, I'd be afraid of Logano creeping up because he's so good. And Shane Van Ginsberg, you got 2 more races left in this round. Like, you don't want to slip into that cut line. And the ovals, you got to prove yourself in the ovals. Hendricks had a tough week last week. The Chevys had a tough week last week in Darlington. It'll be exciting to see, how they respond at the race this week.
Kyle Larson, though, coming away with the Southern 500.
Kyle Larson. Gotta love Larson. I think I was thinking about being Kyle Larson actually for Halloween.
That's funny.
Except his wife is blonde, so I don't know how Jen's gonna feel about it. But I think like I wear the hat similar to him. So
That's actually
anyways, finally on the roundup, yeehaw. August 26th to the 27th, it was about a week and a half ago, the USA men's Olympic hockey team had their orientation camp. And just a little hockey tease, as this week is September and there will be NHL hockey played.
Is that NHL hockey played just in training camp, or are we going to have a preseason game on the schedule?
You will have training camp and preseason games by the end of September.
That is wild. So, yeah, it's right. What is it? The second weekend in October they get started or something like that? Yeah, that's crazy.
And you've got
that means
big
basketball
news.
too. Not that we're gonna jump through hoops for that.
I mean, listen, if you want to talk about like the comparison of like some oil rig paying Connor McDavid behind the scenes so that he'll stay at Edmonton, like Kawhi just got paid, then we can talk about the NBA.
It's a different animal. Yeah. That's about as far as we're going to go. I'm excited. That time period of sports, though, is for me is a lot of fun. I love when the NFL is starting to trend towards the teams are becoming themselves, like week 3, week 4. The National Hockey League's just getting started, like about to be regular season kickoff. And then you start to add in the depths of college football, the playoffs in Major League Baseball. That is the type of time period of sports that I just love living in.
It's a great time. And now is a great time because, I mean, listen, I watch the Mets every night because it's great because they're on their playoff run. Football's here, which we're pumped about.
Claps for them, claps for you. Great roundup, great show today. Final thought, Rocky, before we get out of here.
Yannick Sinner is a stud. And I watched the beginning of his match. He's up and coming. He just turned 24. He is the next Novak Djokovic. He is like almost equivalent wins and Grand Slams at the same age as the Joker did, as they were saying last night. Yeah, no, I paid attention to tennis last night. That's my final thought. I'm
not gonna lie, it's been in my office the last few days because it's like kind of a nice sport to have in the background while you're doing work. And not that I could tell you any of these names. It's like Andradovic and Similovsky. It sounds like the dodgeball lady. But I'll tell you what, you get on some of that, men, women, doesn't matter which side, man. It's It is interesting stuff, to say the least. It is.
Yeah.
Wild.
I watched a couple aces last night. Very nice.
Very at 127.
Yeah.
Imagine that
Really
coming
nice,
at your
respectful
chest,
claps, too.
Valdez. That's like a golf clap. All right, Rocky Romanella, everyone. Thank you, Rocky, for your time. We appreciate you always here on the Rome.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You too. Hey, every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we figure it out. But Rocky's going to join the show and he's going to give us his roundup. He mentioned hockey starts soon, so that will really flip the segment to its original name of Hockey with Rocky, but it doesn't mean he's not going to round up the other sports. It just means that he's going to be our resident hockey breakdown guy, because if he wasn't, we might mess this thing up, and we don't want to do that for you. The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. That would be the Romanellas on YouTube and the Rome Show 1 on X. Be sure to stay locked on the show, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do to get us every morning at 7:05 a.m. I'm Andrew Romanella for my brother Rocky Romanella. Thank you for the support. Back tomorrow morning on a Friday, 7:05. The Rome Show. Be electric. Peace.
Thank you for listening.